Hello, everybody, and it's time for the Make Peace with Life podcast. This podcast is titled The Dash, and we're going to jump right into it today so I can get this because I got a lot of things that I was thinking about talking about today. So we'll see if we get to all of them. But the first thing is from the book, Make Peace with Life. If you have not got this, go over and get this. Get a copy of this. It's if you're Kindle Unlimited, you can read it for free with Kindle Unlimited. Go get a copy of it and tell me what you think about it. I'd love to hear some reviews. Tell me what what your thoughts are. Tell me how I'm doing with that book. Anyhow, but the chapter I want to focus on today was the transcendence of life. Because the ultimate question I think a lot of people have is, does my life matter? Am I important? Am I leaving a legacy? And there's lots of ways that we judge ourselves on that. Writing this book is one way you can leave a legacy because it can stay around forever. Being president, being leaders of organization, being a historical figure in our time can lead to long time longevity of your life. To where it goes on and people read about you. But do they really know you if they just read about you and they know what kind of general you or what type of person you were? General, I don't know where that came from, but what type of person you were. They don't really read into that. They read about your accomplishments and what you did. So my thought on going much deeper into this transcendence of life is maybe it's not so much about the things we did, but how many lives that we touched. I think that's one of the ultimate reasons I did the Make Peace with Life podcast was to touch lives and to hopefully bring some insight to people, to help them find their happiness, to get them moving and understanding that their ways are not necessarily wrong. They might be different from other people's, but that doesn't mean they're wrong at all. But I think we all have a fear of being forgotten, once we leave this plane of existence, that will be forgotten, that nobody will remember us. You get a couple of generations down the road and nobody will remember even who you were, what you did, your smile, your energy, all those type of things. So that leaves us to how do we combat that now? And one of the things that I really don't want to say I dislike, but it really irks me is, I don't know how many of you visit graveyards or have. I mean, there's several reasons I do. I'm fascinated by the paranormal stuff, but I'm also used to do geocaching a lot, and a lot of those were in cemeteries, things like that. And when you go look at somebody's gravestone, it has the year they were born and the year they died. And then in between is a dash. That's the topic of the name of this podcast, The Dash. And so born, died, dash. And the dash sums up their whole entire life. Our lives are summed up by a dash on a tombstone. Now this is a pretty dramatic thing to think about, that everything that we did in our lives is summed up by a dash. And it just tells the born and died date on it. Isn't that crazy to think about, that our life is summed up that way? Well, my thinking is that maybe on that gravestone we should have the flip side, should say a lot of other things, like what we did in life, the things that we are the most proud of, what concerts you went to, what your favorite foods were, what your activities you like, things like that. So like mine might say, the concerts I say, I saw the Red Hot Chili Peppers in concert. I saw the Ramones in concert. They'll say that I used to be a cycler and I rode 100 miles at one time on my bike. I was a professional bowler for a little while, and I bowled the 300 game before. Might say that I like pizza. I love pizza. And then it could even say things that make you really human, like I can't fold a fitted sheet. So maybe that would say on that, this gentleman could not fill a fold fold a fitted sheet. Oh my God, my things are there. That he loved to sing, but he sang badly. Things like that that are a little humorous to get my point across of being human. But when when I go to any type of funeral, I always hear people talk about the memories, not about the achievements they made, but the memories they had with that person. And I think our legacy, in that sense, should be about those memories, and people talking about them instead of just saying when we died, when we were born, what job we had, how long we were with this company. That once we pass away, that stuff doesn't matter. Nobody, your job will replace you as soon as you pass on. So please, don't think that those are important things in the grand scheme of things. So we want to make that difference. So social media has its ups and downs, but one of the great things about social media is it lasts forever out there. So I'm sure at some point it'll go away, but it lasts forever out there. So your family and friends can get to know you. So as I'm putting up these podcasts, they're going on YouTube and Amazon and hopefully iTunes here soon. They'll be out there that people can watch them and see my energy, see my personality, get to hear me talk on things like this. So that's one of those nice things. But we often think of leaving a legacy as something we do to pass on. So we're going to do this thing and then it'll be remembered after we pass on. But I think that's the wrong attitude to have. When you're thinking of leaving a legacy, you want to do things now that are impacting people's lives. And that's where the real beauty of this comes in, is that you're impacting people's life at this moment. And they'll remember that later on, and that legacy, and that'll carry forward. But I think that we need to focus on leaving that legacy now while we're alive, and not doing things so that down the road somebody will find it. So like I said, my book, I loved writing that. I loved getting it out there, and there's still some tweaks that I could have done to it, and maybe I'll bring out another episode or another second series in the book later on down the road, but to improve on it. But I think, while this will last forever, I want to make a difference in people's lives today. I don't want to wait until I'm past. I want to enjoy some of it. I want positive comments. I want amazing things going on. All that stuff. It's vitally important to me just to feel good. Not that I'm wanting to become a billionaire or anything like that, but what I want to do is help as many people as I can out there. And that's again why Make Peace with Life was born. I'm right here on the shirt. So think about that today. I want you guys all to think about that. To live your life to where what you do doesn't, be amazing later on after you're gone, but let it echo throughout time. Let it echo so that people can enjoy it later on, but that they also can enjoy it now. So as you echo out there, make sure that you're thinking about this amazing things and how you're going to leave a legacy, whether it's with one person, 5 people, 10 people, 100,000 people, 1,000,000 people, whatever it is, it doesn't really matter as long as you are living your best life. So think about it that way in that sense. So moving on to our next topic, appreciation. I think this is something that is sadly missed in our society, that we don't show enough appreciation. And I'll get into why I feel that. Some people say thank you, pass the salt, thank you. Appreciation takes it up a notch than that. Appreciation is not just saying thank you. It's honestly meaning that you appreciate what has happened. Yes, somebody passes you the salt, you're appreciative, because otherwise you might not have salt for your food. But appreciation shows value. It shows that somebody was very thankful for what you did. It's not just a token thank you, and don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking thank yous. I love thank yous. We say them to strangers, but appreciation goes into somebody that you have more of a connection with. Um, and so often we forget to do it in the moment. And when we don't do it in the moment, sometimes it doesn't happen at all. So yes, we can go back and say, hey, last week I appreciated on that. Kind of loses its value. But when we do it right in the moment or right after the moment that things happen, it's so much more valuable to everybody in that sense, because it's heartfelt, and it makes people happy. Um, and sometimes they can be small things. It doesn't have to be a big thing. It doesn't have to be a monumental thing. Oh, thank you for helping me move. It could be just like, hey, thanks for coming over. I appreciate you for coming over and watching the game with me. Or thank you for listening to me vent. That's a great one. Thank you for listening to me vent. If I need to get something off my chest, or or that I have something I'm worried about and I just need to talk it out, it's great to have that person just that'll just sit there and not try to fix you or fix the situation, but just to listen so you can vent it out. And you should appreciate that person. Thank you for letting me vent it out. And I think in these cases, I think we should use the word appreciate you. I appreciate you, rather than just a thank you, because we say thank you to everybody on the street. Somebody lets you go in front of them in line, thank you. You're not really vested in that. When I appreciate you, again, going back, it gives us more value to that saying, that the appreciation is much up level than just a thank you. But it is so important for us to let people know that. And some of the people, there's all kinds of people, but we want to, especially the people that we interact with the most, our spouse, our kids, our coworkers, employees, if you own a business. You want to appreciate them, not as a form of payment in that sense, as we're talking about employees and coworkers, but as a heartfelt appreciation, because a lot of the things we do, we can't do without these people. It's very interesting that we don't appreciate our coworkers enough. We don't appreciate, a lot of times in a marriage, you don't appreciate your spouse enough, and you don't let them know. You might appreciate them a lot, but you don't let them know. And I think that falls so short on what we could benefit other people by just giving that little appreciation to them. And with all this, and we're talking about appreciating everybody out in the world, and anybody that interacts with us, that helps us out in any way. Think about the things that you can do, that you need help doing. Like, say for example, you're putting up something that requires two people. You're hanging a picture. You can't do it by yourself because it's too big or something. You appreciate that person for helping out because you couldn't have done it without them. Same way, so many things, when your partner, when you come in from a long day and your partner has cooked you dinner, you should appreciate that right in the moment, because without it, you might be too tired to cook or anything. The best way to appreciate that is to return the favor, return the action sometime when they have a rough day, to cook them dinner. Or, both of you decide, hey, we both had a rough day, let's go out to eat. Let's appreciate that too. But one of the people that you need to appreciate the most is you. You deserve appreciation too in your world, because nothing happens without you in your world. You can sit around on this couch, or you can sit around on this couch all day long, and nothing will happen unless I get my booty up and I start doing it. Like this podcast, I spent a while this morning writing down all the things that I wanted to hit and to talk about. And if I hadn't have done that, I'd be sitting here going, well, what am I going to say? What am I going to say? So I have a general idea, and I appreciate myself for that, because otherwise I'd be sitting here just babbling, which sometimes I do anyhow. But it's great to appreciate yourself, because if you don't appreciate yourself, nothing happens in your world without you. So you have to appreciate yourself. And it sounds so selfish, but it's really a fact that you really need to be doing and allow yourself to grow in that situation. It's wonderful to see. Appreciation creates such positive energy in our world. When you appreciate somebody, and I'm, not the token appreciation, the thank you, but you really go up to somebody and say, I appreciate what you did, or thank you for helping me build this, or thank you for helping me get this goal accomplished. That really carries a lot of weight, and that really lifts people up, and it makes them want to do it more. That's a secret to all of that. When you appreciate people, people want to help you because they know that it's not just, they're not just doing it and nobody cares. They're just expected to do it. Nobody wants to be um, just expected to do things. It starts to lessen their feeling of worth when you don't appreciate them, because they just think, oh, you don't even care. You're just, you're expecting me to do that. But so make sure even the repetitive things that you appreciate them on, when they do a good job, they help you out, whatever, your spouse, especially your kids. Oh my gosh, your kids can learn so much from your appreciation. Don't forget to appreciate them as much as possible. And their appreciation is a little bit different from everybody else's, because they just need that encouragement to get on with their life and to be powerful. Appreciate them. Appreciate you getting an A on your math test. I appreciate you working hard to, play your musical instrument. Things like that can make a child's day and make them feel valuable in the grand schemes of everything. The big thing is, you don't want to look back and see all the opportunities you missed at appreciating people. Because once you miss that opportunity, like we said earlier, once you miss it, it's kind of gone. You can't go back 5 years down the road and say, oh, remember when you did that one thing? I appreciated that so much, because it's kind of lost in the shuffle then. So appreciation has to happen at the moment or soon after. Not saying you have to, every time somebody does something for you, you have to run over and go, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. But make the conscious effort to show somebody that they're valuable to you by appreciating them. If you can do it in the moment, great. If not, do it as soon as you freaking possibly can, because everybody wants to be appreciated. I want to be appreciated. You want to be appreciated. We all want to be appreciated, and it goes a long way in making us powerful, positive, filled, energetic beings. So remember that as you go through life. The last one of my favorite topics, one of my favorite things in this whole wide world is laughter. Me and Monica were just having a conversation about this before I started recording this podcast, about the powerfulness that laughter brings to our relationship and how wonderful it makes us feel that hearing each other laugh is powerful. But laughter is one of the greatest gifts that we've ever were given, whether you believe if you're religious or you're metaphysical. But the ability to laugh sets us apart from so many other living forms on this world. I mean, there's the laughing hyena, but other than that, I don't know if there's other animals or other insects or plants that laugh or that have that cognizant ability to find things funny. For one, for us, it releases those feel-good hormones, those endorphins that light us up, that make us feel energized. Just think about the last time you just had a good belly laugh and how great you felt after it. You watch a comedy, or you go to a comedy show, or you and your friends are just talking and a laughter starts. You feel great. You feel wonderful. And it's amazing because the whole energetic room feels wonderful too. But laughter does so much more than just release feel-good hormones in us. Laughter is one of the best things for stress relief. Stress is a killer in our world, and laughter kind of like dissipates it. It kind of dissolves it a little bit. And it doesn't make it go away totally. I'm not saying that just laugh it off, laugh all your stress off, because it'll still be there if you're worried about something or have some issues in your life. But laughter can help you put it in perspective. It can help you, like I say, dissipate it a little bit. It can help you have moments where you're not worried about it. But laughter also creates connection. Think of the time that you were with a group of people and you're all laughing. I mean, laughing to the point of tears rolling out of your eyes. And as I was talking about, Monica and I, in our conversation about that, that is one of our greatest connections when we laugh about things. I don't know how many times we've had conversations on the phone, and just hearing each other laugh is so amazing, and laughing together. But it's really vital to the connection in a romantic relationship or any kind of relationship, that you can laugh together. Because if you're just all sitting around like this all the time, that's not fun. That's not energetic. But when you sit around and you're laughing about things, and it's a great way to connect with other people from all walks of life and in general. I mean, people that sometimes don't even speak the same language can laugh together, and it's universal happiness. Laughter is universal happiness in that sense. So, so keep that in mind as to how it connects you. Laughter also allows our mind to go on a little vacation, if you will. So you're stressed at work, you're thinking about work, something happens. Think about if you laugh during that time, that kind of goes away for just a minute, just for some moments, things like that. Laughter is like a reset for your brain. At that time, it allows your brain to reset. And I can tell you, I've done this several times where I've had something challenging in my mind that I'm thinking about or that I'm working on. Maybe it's a part of a podcast or something that I'm like, I just can't quite get where I want to go. And something will happen, and then I'll have a laugh, and it like resets my mind, and it brings new ideas into my head, and I figure out what I was thinking about. And I think that's a powerful form of laughter as well. I mean, it's unlimited. I mean, it's just going on and on and on. The next one is our physical health. Laughter, have you ever heard the expression, laughter is the best medicine? There's some truth to that. I mean, laughter, when I laugh hard, it's like I've done a million setups sometimes. Your stomach is just like a ball. It's like, it feels good. It feels like feels like you've been working on your abs and they're all tense and tight. But it's good for your heart. It's good for your heart. It brings oxygen into your heart. It resets your body in that sense, but it also helps your mind, as we talked about just a little bit, and also your metaphysical being, your soul, your inner workings. It really connects the mind, body, and soul, which is part of the process of metaphysics in a nutshell, that those are all connected. And laughter is one that just kind of works them all at the same time. And I think that's super powerful for laughter. Laughter, or maybe laughter yoga. I forgot all about that. There used to have a form of yoga where people would laugh. They would physically make themselves laugh, and it was such a good workout for them, for again the mind, body, and the soul, to relieve tension and to allow these persons to enjoy the physical and the metaphysical benefits of laughter. So something you might want to check out laughter yoga. I'm sure it's still out there. Another thing that is I think is amazing is laughter is contagious. Have you ever been around somebody that's laughing so hard, they're just busting it? You might not even know what they're laughing about, but you walk in and and sometimes you actually do start laughing as well. You're just like, you can't help it. It's like you're trying to find out what they're laughing about, and next thing you know, you're laughing too. You don't even know what they're laughing about yet, and then they tell you, and then you start laughing even more because it's funny, or you see why they're laughing then, or it just hits you. We talked in earlier podcasts how smiles are contagious. Well, laughter can be just as contagious, if not more so. Um, and you know, it brings up a curiosity too. When you hear somebody laughing, you're curious of why they're laughing. You're thinking to yourself, what's so funny? What am I missing out on? You want to go and find out why that laughter is happening and how you can be part of it. I want to be part of laughter when it's going on, because you never go to a place where people are laughing and go, oh, I don't want to laugh. Why? What's going on? I hope everybody's okay. They're okay because they're laughing their butts off out there. So please, I'm sorry. I don't know if you can laugh your butt off, but if it's possible, it'd be great. That raises that energy. When the whole room's laughing, think about how the energetic flow of the energy or the room is just lifted up. When you get a bunch of people laughing together, it's amazing. It's an amazing experience. Our life is not I don't think life is designed to be serious. Look at some of the things around. Why do we have jokes? Why do we have strange things that are in the world that make us laugh? If they didn't make us laugh, why would they be here? Comedians, movies that are funny. These are evolution, but we've always had laughter. It's not something we have to learn to do. It just happens. Kids laugh. They don't, when they're babies, they don't understand funny, not funny. At least I don't think so. I could be totally wrong on that, but they laugh. And I think it's such a natural thing for our being that it's part of our life, and it's not supposed to be taken lightly. I mean, yes, laughter is light, but it's not supposed to be taken so lightly that we don't need it or anything like that. So keep those laughter rolling, and don't take life so seriously. So I'm going to challenge you right now. I want you to go back in your memories and think about the last thing that made you laugh really hard. I mean, as you can tell, I'm thinking about right now, and I'm almost ready to start laughing at this moment. But think about that. And don't be afraid to go back and revisit that. This is a funny story. I don't know. I know it's still on. It's not as popular as it used to be, but the show Funniest Home Videos, when it first came out many years ago, I'm showing my age, but when it first came out many years ago, I remember watching it and I would just be on the floor laughing so hard. The silly stuff that happened on it and everything. But I remember there was one clip that made me laugh so hard. It was just hilarious. And I remember that night waking up from a dead sleep, and because I was thinking about that video, and I had to laugh. And I woke up and I just was busting a gut in the middle, coming out of a dead sleep, because I had dreamt about that clip. And it's still to this day, it makes me laugh. And it wasn't anything major. It just made me laugh. So don't hold back on laughter. Appreciate laughter for what it's worth. We're going to appreciate our laughter. Laughter will help you transcend life. If you can come with a great joke people will tell forever, that's a great way to transcend life, as we're incorporating it into everything we've been talking about today. The show's going a little long because I knew it would be. This is a great topic. I love it. All three of these topics just thrill my soul. With amazing energy, and I love talking about them with you. So we got to end the show. One of the things that I've been doing on the podcast is leaving you with a song to listen to. If you go and check this song out, this is a new one. The Dirty Heads just released their 7 Seas album. And there is a great song on there. I don't think it'll be one of their most popular ones, but the words really hit hard in it. It's called Future Self by the Dirty Heads. Go check that out. Tell me what you think about it. It's a really good song. It's a really good, blends right in with Make Peace with Life, the brand here. So go check that out. Listen to that song. Tell me what you think about it. Send me some topics for the show. Go over to Make Peace with Life. Find all the great stuff that we're doing there. There's a way you can contact me, my email address on there, so you can drop me a line, tell me something that you might want to talk about on the show. Tell me some guests that you might want to have on the show. I'm curious about having guests on the show at some point going forward here. Get the book. You talked about getting the book. Get the book on Amazon. You can find that there as well. Listen to other episodes of the podcast. There's so much going on there. It's crazy. You can get these great shirts there. We love sharing all this information with you. I cannot tell you how blessed I am to be doing this. It thrills my soul to be doing this because I want to help as many people as possible, including myself, make peace with life. Have a good day, guys, and I will talk to you next time on the next podcast.